content over everything.
Went from there until the dawning of consciousness, which in most of the population occurred 75,000 years ago.
Everyone was saying you just said some things that you weren't. That's fine. It's consciousness. I just said, from what I know, no scientist has proven that the brain generates consciousness. So at least you can tell me other ones. You have to start with that first.
Right, so
you know what I mean?
I'm not fantastic on the scientific aspects of this. I'm more interested in the sociological aspects of this.
Fine, that's a different conversation.
But from what I see, we started on the journey towards being fully conscious when we became Homo sapiens.
What do you mean by fully conscious? What's like semi-conscious?
Our brain structure when we became Homo sapiens was pretty similar to what it is now, but it fully became similar to what it is now around 100,000 years ago. And for most of the population, we had human consciousness, and that was 75,000 years ago. And at that point, from 100,000 years ago, we start making little works of art, and we start building these larger structures to live in and other things. And then we create complex society after that.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, go on.
I could read what you just said in the book.
Yeah.
But that's not what I'm talking about. Just with respect, but not what you just said about respect, but I do mean with respect.
Right.
What I mean when I say consciousness, I'm not talking about like our ability to work things out or create new things and philosophy and things like that. No, literally just the raw experience of experiencing itself.
Right.
You are experiencing, regardless of the content of there's a man here, there's a camera there, Hyde Park. Those are mental things that we put labels to our surroundings, right? Just the raw experience of being aware.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about when I'm talking about consciousness or the essentialness
so
that you are.
Would you agree that animals are different to us in this regard?
No, they're definitely aware.
I would say they live within their instincts. And so animals, they have their instincts and they go from one instinct to another. Whereas we think about the future, the past, the present. We're able to act in the world.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
But we're able to think about it at the same time.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
Go on.
You heard me just say, like, that's not what I'm talking about. And
I think that's being aware.
No, but that's not what I'm talking about. I want to, if we're going to talk. You know, when you asked me what I'm about, and I said, I don't talk much because I go to the deep essence of what we are. And it's not easy to understand because it's not the everyday conversation. Like, who am I? Everyone doesn't just say that. What is consciousness? People just go along with their lives and regurgitate, quite frankly, what other people say. Well, this scientist said that, so it must be true, right? That's facts. No one's been there 75 years ago, but we say, this happened and then that happened. I'm literally, because what I'm talking about is simple but complex in the sense that it's simple, but your mind makes it difficult. Not you, like just you, everyone. My mind, everyone. I'll say it again. You're aware right now. Experience is happening.
Yeah.
Just that. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Just that. Being aware that experience is happening. Not labeling, like I said, not labeling things. That an animal has, of course, right?
Not to the same extent as us.
You're not. With respect, you're not hearing me. It's not because there's no levels in what I'm saying. I'm not saying like, for example, there's thunder. A cat will react.
Yeah.
Right. That's they don't know what thunder is.
Yeah.
Or we don't even know what thunder is. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have labels for it. They probably don't have a label for it. But they're aware that an experience is taking place, and and then comes the individualness of I don't like that thing. I'm gonna run away. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm a scared cat. That's personality, that's individualness. I'm not talking about that. Just being aware.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no levels in that. In the same way, okay, cool. But in the same way, to make it more physical, there's space around our bodies right now, what we call space. There's no levels to it. It's nothingness, as much as we can say something is nothing. Right?
Yeah.
Like the very so-called raw space that there's molecules are within, atoms are within, that is holding the whole universe. Holding it holds, of course. That, that raw experiencing I'll suggest to you, just to go forward a bit more, is what you truly are, essentially speaking.
Well, the atoms that create you.
No, because I'm not saying you are the body. You think you are the body? Essentially, you are the body?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so, but obviously you don't consciously choose your heart to beat. So maybe we'll say subconsciously you do that?
No.
What would you say about the heart beating by itself if it's you that is doing that?
That we're multicellular organisms and we're the end result in a process that started with single cellular life and then
But you chose
slowly
it.
expanded over time.
But you chose it.
No, we're not responsible
That's
for
my
any
point,
of
so-
that, like evolution is.
So you say you are the body, but you didn't choose that. So who chose it? Who chose your heart?
The process of evolution helped to shape us.
So a consciousness.
We
Must be some thought.
like so we fit into. I mean, we're the end process in that evolutionary journey, and our experience of life is shaped by our consciousness, and but at the same time we also have our physical body, which is given to us by our parents' DNA, and then through our what we eat when we're growing up and the way we live our lives as well. We help shape our body that way, don't we? Because obviously if you do more exercise, then you're able to develop it one way or another.
You don't say nothing wrong, yeah, of course. But that's like one level. But as you can tell, I'm trying to go deeper than that.
Okay.
Because you even saying like, I have a body. You can say the sentence, I have a body. I can say the sentence, I have a body.
Yeah.
Who is the I? Who is the I that says I have a body? Who's this awareness that is aware there is a body? Is it the body? Or is it something else?
Well, I mean, I kind of feel I'm in charge of my consciousness.
Yeah, but what is the I that is in charge of the consciousness?
Then there's my body as well, which I'm not in charge of every bit of it.
But what
because
is that
you wouldn't
I?
be able
That's
to
my
be in
direct
charge
question.
of every.
What is that I?
But I am the entire multicellular organism.
You're everything.
Yes, yeah.
You just said you don't control the body.
I don't control all of it, no. But I take, I sort of, in a way, I feel like I'm the bit that's driving it. So
What is that? What is that?
I'd say that would be the consciousness bit, isn't it? That's,
I'm asking you. Like,
I think it's that bit that's the bit that you're responsible. But then obviously you have all the internal processes that are going on as well that you're not responsible for.
internal.
Yeah, like your heart beating, or your brain cells firing, or all of that sort of stuff.
So this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like on one level, of course, I am the body.
Yeah,
Like I'm doing this. That's the easy sort of assumption I would say, to be honest. Yeah. But looking deeper, I cannot tell you, or you tell me. Can you actually tell me not what is happening?
Yeah.
I said again, not what is happening, but how. Can you just do this for me? Just put your hand up. Thank you. Right. How did you do that? Not what's happening, muscle contracting. No.
Right.
How did you do that?
Well, you directed me to, and I went along with
Yeah,
your
but how?
directions.
How are you moving the body?
Well, I just did it.
All right. Thank you. Boom. I
Uh-huh.
just did it. I'd
Yeah.
agree. That's my experience. Just do it.
Yeah,
I couldn't
yeah.
tell you how.
No.
Could you? All right. You see where I'm coming from?
No, because it's all the internal processes, and you directed them, but
But how did you direct it? What was your experience
Yeah,
of sending this direction, what
Yeah,
you just used,
yeah.
to your arm to do that?
Right.
You just said, I just did it. And to me,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
enough.
Uh-huh.
But like I said earlier, what the mind wants to do is try and work things out, and it superimposes things that are not necessarily true, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
When the simplest answer is often, not always of course, often just what it is. You just did it.
Yeah.
I'll go as far to say it's a little bit of a mystery.
Well, all of the internal processes that lead
what is
to
happening.
Right.
We can physically see what's happening.
Uh-huh.
Right? And the surgeon can cut, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about that. That's why I'm specifically saying how.
Right.
How am I walking? I just do it.
Yeah.
I just do. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, because you've sent some signals through your brain,
Yeah, but who is
which
that?
then send other
is
signals and then other signals.
But who is
and
that?
then they send signals to your
But
arm.
who is that? Who is the sender?
So
Who
you're
delivered that
the
letter?
sender, aren't you?
Yeah, but who is that you? Who is that you?
So that would be the conscious part of yourself.
Okay, so that seems to be more primary.
Yeah, I
To
mean,
movements.
I figure we're each the driver, aren't we? But we're not responsible for all of the stuff that's going on under the bonnet, and that's kind of
What is
things that happen
driver?
anyway.
But what is that driver? I know you said conscious
Yeah.
or consciousness, but what is consciousness is essentially what I'm saying. But I thought you understood.
It's our level of awareness.
Okay. What do you mean by level of awareness?
So other animals have,
Okay.
I'd say, a lesser level of awareness.
But that's not what I'm talking about. I remember I explained earlier.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. You can use awareness in that sense. Like, I'm more aware of, I don't know, maybe certain things that you're not aware of, and you're more aware of.
I mean, I'll put it this way. Okay, our brain size,
No, but that's
on
not-
average,
but that's not what I'm talking
1350
about.
cubic
Full
centimetres,
respect, that's not what I'm
draws
talking about.
20% of our energy at all time. So that's where we fit in, and we have the ability to engage in a greater
not what I'm
number
talking about.
of instant actions, and we have access to more resources than other animals. And so they live within their instincts, whereas we don't. We're able to think about the past, the present, the future,
How do you know I
at
am?
the same time as we act in the world. And
you-
so that's what humans do
Are
that
you
no
hearing
other
me?
animal does.
I don't understand why you said all of that. You just heard me say, with
Yeah.
respect, like, I'm not talking about that.
I
Why
am.
do you
though.
keep going? Yeah, but I'm not. But then,
Right. So I am mentioning about this, which is
Yeah, but
that's a human
Well, you just told me
consciousness.
something, but how does that help the conversation? Because I'm not talking about that. I'm not going to disagree with that.
Right.
Like, that's not what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what I believe we are. We're the driver inside this multicellular organism.
So how are you driving?
I figure everyone does this, and
No.
that's
How are you driving?
well, you get to choose that, don't you?
How?
Well, you go through your life, and you get to
No.
choose the decisions you make.
No. What you're doing is you're skipping the hard question, and I appreciate it's a hard question.
Yeah.
But it's okay to say I don't know.
What's a hard question?
I said, what is consciousness?
I figure it's this awareness of our, situation.
Okay, so that consciousness, is it, in quotes, it. I don't think it's a physical thing. Is it the body?
It exists mainly within the mind. I think that's where we
Okay,
exist.
what do you mean by mind then? Because some people everyone has
In the
different-
brain, yeah.
You think the mind is in the brain? Why?
Because that's where all the, neurons fire, and that's where our awareness is created.
No, but as I said earlier, absolutely no one.
We have our
Absolutely
inputs,
no
our
one.
eyes,
Absolutely no one.
our nose,
Absolutely
our,
no
our
one.
ears,
Absolutely,
and our
absolutely
sensations
no
of
one,
touch.
Absolutely no one, right, has proven the mind, the thoughts, consciousness is in the brain. No one. Like, I'm saying to you, bro, no one. So then why do you still say that mind or consciousness is in the brain? When no one. Then scientists are trying to work it out. They're
Right.
open to that. So why are you still saying it isn't there?
Okay, so I'm not a massive expert on this, but what I'd say is we have our inputs, and those are generated into our streams, aren't they? So you've got your visual stream, auditory stream, and then you have a consciousness which is receiving all of that, and then it's also at the same time you have your memories of the past, you have your what you're doing now, and so that awareness of the present as well, and then your ability to act and to do things, and it's that kind of middle ground where all of that meets.
From what you just said, you said consciousness comes after.
You think it's more spiritual? I'm guessing.
spiritual?
Is that what you're?
Is the mind spiritual? Is the fact that you can think right now of
Yeah.
a bird, yet it's nowhere physically. It's nowhere physically.
Yeah.
Would you call that spiritual? I wouldn't necessarily, but you can if you want to.
I mean, I
wrong with the
wouldn't.
word
I wouldn't
spiritual.
either. But
Oh, well then.
what's
But it's
the
not
main
physical.
What's the main argument you're making about consciousness then? Going away from the I'd say I put the more scientific argument down for what it is.
But you haven't though.
I believe I've just done that.
But as I just said, science have not proven that consciousness is in the brain. They literally haven't.
Yeah, I mean they.
So
I think they have. I think that's where.
that's fine.
Where
You can
it is
think
now.
that. That's fine. See, that's beautiful, bro. Honestly,
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's totally fine, right? We all have thoughts. That's one reason we come to Speaker's Corner to hear other people's thoughts, right? But I'm just saying explicitly saying that scientists have never discovered consciousness in the brain. And I would say, just my belief, right? Now it's a belief that they never will.
Yeah.
Because it's prior to all experience. In the same way, space, like I said earlier, I suggest it's prior to our bodies. It was here before our bodies came out of our mother.
Yeah.
Right? There's always something fundamental upon which experience can take place. In the physical world, we have space. We can only be here because there's space. There's somewhere to put your body. There's somewhere to put the moon.
Yeah.
There's somewhere to put the sun and stars. Right? In the same way, I'm suggesting to you that mind that you do have, of course, there's a foundation to it, let's say. That which allows thoughts to be. You could call it a mind space. Physical space, a mind space. And that space is before personality. Because you're not always thinking, are you? Of course, thoughts change. Even in that little switch, then you're not thinking. Or you sleep. So you're not always consciously thinking of something.
Yeah.
So those thoughts have to go somewhere. Have to appear within something, to use a word.
Yeah.
So that which is constant, I'm suggesting to you, is consciousness. Not mind, not working things out. No, that's different type of way of using the word consciousness. The very backboard upon which experience itself is taking place. That I'm saying is for word consciousness, and it's what you truly are. What you truly are. In the same way, we both can't say how we're moving our body, we just do it.
Yeah.
We can't say how we think, we just do it. If I say think of a basketball, you just do it.
Yeah.
it's right, nothing more to say about that. That's basically what I'm saying. So they're essentially what you are, and you can come to see this, because I've come to see it. And you could call it a spiritual thing if you want to, but I'll say it's not spiritual, I'll say it's normal.
Yeah.
Because whatever the truth is, it has to be normal. Right? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, absolute truth. It has to be normal. It has to be like, hey, you heard me, you understand. So I had this kind of experience a couple years, 3 years ago now, 2020, of having this sort of deep seeing or deep understanding that essentially speaking, I'm not this mind, these thoughts that appear, that I can't tell you how they come. It feels like it's me choosing it, but it's already there before I have that feeling that I chose it.
Yeah.
It feels like it's me moving, but I couldn't tell you, I couldn't write down to you, I move by, I'll be making things up, you know what I'm saying? I just do it. Thoughts, I just do it, Nike. Right, so basically, when one comes to see this, don't you have any troubles in life or whatever, everyone's got ups and downs. When you come to see what you truly are, I suggest to you find peace.
Right.
Not just momentary peace, lasting peace.
Okay.
Basically. But, that takes obviously a willingness, a wanting to discover the truth. But if you already think you have it, then of course you're not going to bother. Like if you already think consciousness is in the brain, for example, then you're not going to bother. And it's fine. If I already believe that Jesus is God, I don't. Then I'm not going to read the Quran, am I?
Yeah, I mean, with that, I think, in terms of the scientific argument, I'd say that, so we do have instincts and we do have evolutionary ideas going on and imperatives and a desire to fulfill certain processes within our own life, and they come from our genetics, our all of our instincts, that sort of thing. And that kind of generates.
What do you mean by instinct? Just to have clarity. What do you mean? What's the instinct?
So those are the behaviours that we engaged in have always done so.
Can you give me an example?
As mammals and before as other animals.
Can you give me an example though, so I know what you mean by instinct?
So when you get thirsty, you want to drink.
Okay.
When you're hungry, you want to eat.
Okay. Yeah.
And that sort of thing. There's the social ones. There's I guess getting aggressive if someone starts a fight with you, that sort of thing. So that's all kind of the instinctual level of existence. But then we differ from other animals because we have our ability to see the past and the present and the future, and to
we can see the future.
Well, we're able to work out what might happen, potential futures, and so.
But it's not the future.
No. So we kind of think, things aren't working out so well in terms of, what's happening. So
I know what you mean.
We need to try and plan
but
to
it's not actually
make a better future, basically. And
that's fine. But those thoughts are happening in the present. They're not actually the future. For example,
it's the idea of planning, isn't it?
Yeah, because we both know in the future, in quotes, we're going to move away. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're not going to be standing there.
Yeah.
But it's not the actual future.
Yes, yeah.
Because when you just said we're different to animals, and I do agree, to some degree, we're clearly different to animals, other animals. But we talk about time.
I mean, that's the difference, is they don't have the ability to use past memories in order to generate a different future. They just live within their instincts.
I don't know, but I'm not here to debate that. I haven't just studied animals.
And we were the same, basically.
I don't know every single animal cannot plan. But
they live within their instincts and they make decisions as a result of their instincts, rather than humans who decide that actually I'm going to go on holiday in this month, or I'm going to build this house.
It's an instinct to want a reprieve from the sort of daily life struggles.
Right.
That's an instinct. It's still an instinct, isn't it? The instinct to want to not work all the time.
Right. Yeah.
To want to rest. It's a human instinct.
So it's built upon that foundation of instincts, but then it's specifically planning, I guess, that we do. And
but no, I'm not disagreeing. I do believe that we have the ability to plan more than animals. Yeah. 100%.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not disputing.
And I think it all, in terms of our brain function, it's because our brains have all of this extra energy and extra size, in terms of our brain size to general body weight ratio. We've got the largest brains of any, species on the planet by a long way, and that allows us to have this heightened awareness of what we're doing, and our past and our future and our destiny, basically.
Well, you believe that, but that's fine.
Yes, yeah.
What if let's say consciousness was produced by the brain? That would mean essentially that experience, you're having a conscious experience right now, right?
Yeah.
That would mean that experience is within your brain. If it's generating it, it's the generator.
Yeah, well, that's true, isn't it?
That's what it would mean, if it's true.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that was true, that consciousness is being produced by the brain, thus it's inside the brain being generated and created. If, I would say, you say someone else had a bad head injury.
Yeah.
And their brain could be seen, like, bad head injury.
Yeah, sure.
But it's still a bit conscious. Yeah, just the skull was done in. Seeing the brain, which is apparently the generator of the experience. That would mean that you are seeing the generator of what's taking place.
Yeah.
But you say that doesn't make sense.
It does.
But that which is generating experience, you should not be able to see it. For example, you go to the cinema.
Well, if they've got a mirror, they can see it.
No, but that's what...
If a bit of their brain's exposed and they're looking at it through a mirror, then they can see the generator of their consciousness.
If you can see the generator, then what are you? If I can see the generator of my
Yeah.
experience, then it can't be generating my experience because I can see it. I can see all around it, which
Right,
is the brain.
right.
Like I was going to say,
Assuming it's still working, it's still generating their experience.
well, obviously it would be if the
Yeah.
experience is taking place and consciousness is being derived from the brain.
Yeah.
But just so I can put this analogy.
I mean,
let me get this analogy out,
like
bro.
they're not able to see it at a
It wouldn't
neuron
matter.
level.
It wouldn't matter. You shouldn't be able to see it at all if it's generating the very moment you're having. I
Right,
shouldn't be able to say, oh, there's the generator of my experience because I'm seeing it. It shouldn't be within my experience. It should be distinct from my experience because it's generating the experience.
Well, we can all see our our sense inputs, can't we? So you can see your eyes and the nose and the ears. So those are the where the experiences are coming in.
No, honestly,
And then it's the brain that works all of those.
That's somewhere else. We go there. Let's not do the sensors right now. That's another thing. Like again, if there's a camera there and it's generating my experience,
Right.
Why would it be in my experience too?
The camera.
Yeah. If there's a camera, the camera's the brain. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. There's a brain there. Let's say brain. Yeah. I can see a brain. Okay. I can see my own brain. Right. I'm saying it. I'm doing it at a distance just to make it more clear.
Yeah.
The brain is generating my experience. I can see the brain.
Okay.
So the brain, if it's generating my experience, it shouldn't be in my experience because it should be outside generating it. Can I do this analogy quickly?
That wouldn't.
But can I do this analogy
That doesn't
quickly?
hold true.
It really does. I can do this analogy quickly. You won't let me. You keep trying to do it, right? The projector in the cinema, right? It projects onto the screen.
Yeah.
Can you see the projector, the actual projector in the screen?
No.
Of course you can't. Because it's generating it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The generator is distinct from the experience.
No, for that, I mean,
Yes.
our experience is happening in our own heads.
No, that's what you believe, but let's say that it's true. That's what I'm going along with right now. If it's happening within your own head,
Yeah.
imagine, right? Your brain is generating consciousness, right? That means the experience of your head.
Yeah.
This is gonna sound really weird. I promise you. I have to build it up slowly. I promise you. It's
Go on,
gonna sound
do
really
this.
weird. If your brain is generating consciousness,
Yeah.
then the experience of your head is happening in your head. Should I say why if you don't understand that?
I mean, well, yeah. I mean, the experience is being generated in my head.
That means your head is being generated in your head.
No.
Tell me how not.
Well, my head isn't that big a part of the experience right
Doesn't
now.
matter how big it is.
I mean, instead, I'm getting lots of winds, and I'm getting
Doesn't matter how big it is.
some cold sensation on my hands, and this conversation, and those are the main inputs I'm getting.
Doesn't matter how big it is. If your brain, which is in the head, I could
Yeah.
technically see your brain,
Right.
okay, if something happened, by the magic or X-ray vision. You
Yeah.
say that, X-ray vision.
I mean, the
I can
brain
see
is
your
relatively
brain.
well
So if I
protected,
can-
isn't
if
it?
I can
So-
see your brain, right, and if you can see your brain,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's more to the point. It's not about the outside person. The fact that you can see your brain, right, and you can touch your head. But you know the brain is...
Obviously,
One
if someone
second,
gets
bro.
brain
One second, bro.
damaged.
1 second, bro.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know the brain is in your head. At least 99.9% sure, right? You know the brain is in your head.
Yeah.
So, for you to be able to see that which is generating the experience of your head wouldn't make sense. Because again, like the projector and the
you can
like the
see
projector
it.
and the cinema screen.
It's a
No.
computer, you
No,
can see it.
No, but in the same way, when you're looking at the screen, you can't see the computer.
And if it gets damaged, then that affects your ability to generate consciousness.
No.
It does.
No. Can I explain why, please? Right? Again, I'm not talking about consciousness in the sense of your experience. I would agree. Your experience will change, but I'm not talking about that. Remember,
If you
like I
see
said,
people with brain damage, they
You're not letting me
can't
finish.
generate
You're not letting me
consciousness in the same way as others.
you're not letting me finish.
I'm happy to. Go on.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Because again, you keep saying things, but it's irrelevant because I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, I'm agreeing with that, but that's not what I'm talking about. Again, I'm talking about the raw experience. Remember, so if you're confused right now, or
Right.
you have a delusion, there's an awareness, so to speak. Oh, I'm confused, man. Oh, I'm a
Yeah.
bit deluded. Like I was sick like last year for a couple of weeks,
Yeah,
and I was
yeah.
a bit deluded. But there's awareness of it, so the awareness was clear. I'm deluded. It's not deluded. Sorry, hallucinating. Sorry.
Yeah.
Right? That didn't change. The
Yeah.
experience changed, yes, of not having clarity.
Yeah.
That's what you don't understand. That's what I'm not talking about that. Right? This raw experience in the switching on the light, just the experience of experience. Yeah. It has to be. I suggested you. I put to you, with all logic, it has to be distinct from the experience. If something is generating the experience, it can't be in the experience too.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help if it is.
No, but it couldn't be.
Right.
In the same way, a religious person would say that God can't be in the creation.
You get that the brain is relatively well protected by a massive bone here, the skull, and it's then encased inside this. I forget what is it. I forget the type of fluid it has around it, but it's pretty well protected because it's. They don't want that computer system to be
it's not the point.
affected by the outside world. They want it, the evolutionary process wants it to be protected so it can do its thing.
According to your current belief, there is no outside world. There was only what's happening in your brain.
I believe in the outside world.
No, but you just said everything's happening in your brain though. Your brain is generating...
No, that's our experience.
Bro, your brain is generating this experience, right? All you have is experience.
All around. No, that's the outside world.
Outside.
My experience of the outside world is being generated by my brain.
Outside if the experience of the so-called outside world is in your brain?
Because we've studied this outside world.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. You can believe there's an outside world, believe there is an outside world, right? In your actual experience...
I believe there is.
I know, that's fine.
Yeah.
But you don't actually, I'm going to say why. Because you believe your senses, let's bring the senses, that are seeing right now, this experience is taking place in your head.
Yes, exactly.
Right, so then where's the outsideness?
Oh, well, because this is outside, all of this is outside of my head.
Your senses are taking place inside you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they take information from the outside.
How do you know there's
and
outside?
develop a picture inside.
The senses are in you.
You have your sense organs, which they take the visual stream from the outside world, and they generate the picture that you see inside your head.
That's what someone told you, of course. You don't know.
That's the scientific explanation for this.
Yeah. So essentially, what someone told you, what you believe.
I mean that's what we've studied and what we found.
No one, like I said before, bro.
This is why we have the sense organs.
Like I said, bro, no one, right? No one. I'm saying it confidently. No one has seen a picture in the brain.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Please give me some.
I mean, they see pictures of brain pathways and neurons firing and all of that.
I don't know if you intentionally didn't want to understand what I'm saying or what. I'm saying a picture in the brain, that's it. Meaning, if I picture a house, that's what I mean.
I think
no one has seen that
who isn't blind sees pictures inside their brain every second of their existence.
No, that's an assumption that is in the brain. We've already went over this.
Yeah.
It's an assumption that is in the brain. No scientist...
I believe this is where we generate the image and we see it inside our brain.
I know, that's fine, but I'm saying, but the actual fact, actual life, actual reality shows you and I, we're just people, right? That no surgeon, they're looking at brains all the time, has seen a picture in the brain.
Except for, when like them living their life and they constantly see pictures in their brain.
No, but that's an assumption that is in the brain. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's an assumption.
Yeah.
Because we've been told that. We've both been educated in, schooled in this country, I assume, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're told. But in your actual experience, like I was saying earlier, bro, you picture a house, a basketball, I do too. I can't tell you that it's in my head. That's an assumption. Right. That's my belief, my social belief, if anything. It's in the brain. When it comes down to it, actual fact, no one has seen a picture in the brain. Meaning a surgeon, who else works on neurosurgeon works on brains. So it's an inference. It's a correlation. It's an actual fact.
I think people constantly generate pictures inside their heads, either of what they're seeing right now or pictures that they can create, say in a daydream or something like that.
It's just, I don't know if you heard everything I just said.
I think people can constantly generate pictures inside their brain. I believe that's a scientific argument.
But it isn't.
I can't give you the any more, of the detailed science on this because
No,
I don't look into
even
that.
if you was
so.
a top scientist,
Yeah.
you would have to agree. Even if you was Nobel Prize and everything, you would have to agree with me that no one has seen a picture in the brain. If we had, then it wouldn't be a question anymore. The brain definitely generates consciousness. It wouldn't be a question anymore. It wouldn't be the hard problem of consciousness within, what do you call it? Philosophy of science. That wouldn't exist.
So, all of this stream of visual images you're seeing every single second, you don't think that's being generated in the brain?
Definitely not. And I gave you reasons why. It's because the generator has to be distinct from the experience that it's generating.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was saying about the brain, the fact that the brain is within experience negates that being a possibility to me.
The generator has to be separate
Has to be
from...
distinct from the experience. In the same way, like I was saying with the cinema, the generator, which is the projector, that's generating the images we're seeing, is distinct from the screen, of course. It's not in the screen. It has to be outside to show the whole movie, right? So you couldn't have part of the projector in the screen.
Right,
It just makes no sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
I figure our brain does both tasks.
That's fine. You can think that. That's fine. But it's like if there was a picture of a projector in a movie, right? You wouldn't say, this might help you understand where I'm coming from. If there was a projector in a movie on the screen, you wouldn't say that projector is generating the movie. Am I wrong? Am I right? You wouldn't say...
Right.
You're watching a movie about projectors, make it easier. You're watching a movie about projectors, how they were made, sizes and everything.
And the film is being projected onto the screen by a projector.
Right. What I was saying is, the projectors in the movie, you're sitting down in the cinema watching the projectors in the movie.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say those projectors in the movie are projecting the movie.
No.
They're part of the movie.
Yeah.
Right. There has to be something distinct from the experience, and that's the other projector.
Right.
Yeah. So you understand how that would make absolutely no sense for anyone to say the projectors in the movie are projecting the movie. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
This is this analogy at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying about the brain. If the brain was generating experience, it has to be outside of experience or outside of the movie that we call life. But it's not. It's here. It's right here.
Yeah, well, it's just a computer and it does a number of different tasks.
It does do a number of different tasks, but I'm suggesting to you that generating consciousness cannot be one. I just gave you a good analogy, I believe, of why not.
Right,
that which is generating experience has to be distinct from the experience. And I gave the analogy of the cinema.
I would go back to this driver analogy of, we have our input mechanisms, and then, we have just how we're experiencing that, but then we have our level of awareness and our ability to look into the past, the present, and then to try and plan the future.
Can't see the past.
We have our memories.
But the memories are happening in the present.
It's our memories of the past. Yeah.
How do you know it's of the past if they're happening in the present?
Because
I'm pulling your leg a little bit, but
yes. Basically, you have your past memory, like your memories of the past of events that happened, say a few years ago.
But every memory is happening now. So how do you know it's from a so-called before?
Right. Because you can verify this with other people.
But they're having memories in the now as well, in the present too.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I didn't want to. I'm trying to make you stuck there.
You can use a diary if you want to add clarity to it.
But that's still happening now. If I'm writing, yesterday this happened, I'm writing it now. But just to help you, I'm not trying to trip you up here.
You do generate them in the present. I agree with that.
Okay, but I've got to help you. Please let me just finish, right? Normal speaking, of course, we experience the past, future, and we could say we imagine the future. Past, present, imagine the future. Of course. I could say I was at home earlier, that was the past. Of course, normal speaking. But what I'm trying to do is go a bit more actual fact. Our actual experience, I would suggest, like you just agreed now, is always now. It's always now.
Yeah.
Whatever this thing called now is, it's always that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So when we say past, or when you're saying past, we experience past, present, and future, and that's what we have over animals. We're not actually experiencing the past or the future, though.
No, we
experiencing now,
exist
just as
in
they
the
are
present,
experiencing
but
now.
we're. I guess
But
we
have more
generate
imagination.
memories and we put them into our storage, and then
They have certain level
like
of memories.
and then sometimes they come back of their own accords, and then other times we
see that?
we think of them and
But isn't that
we bring
interesting?
them back. Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? You just said sometimes thoughts come of their own accord.
Yeah.
Right. This is a big part of my point. When I was talking earlier about what are you essentially? Are you the body? Are you the mind? Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
The fact that you all experience this. Yes, thoughts just come sometimes. Right. So when you say that you are
you wanting to head? Is it?
Not quite yet. Whenever you want to. Two have gone. Richard and Hayden have gone home.
Is it?
Yeah, so there's three of us left.
Oh, okay. I'll just wrap this up in
I'll
a
see
minute.
if Linton wants to go. I'll
yeah,
come
fair
back to
enough.
you.
what was I just saying?
Can we wrap this up? Actually,
Yeah, we can.
I think
we
we've
can.
done all right.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. This is a friendly
Have a
conversation.
good day anyway.
Yeah,
Cheers,
you too.
man. Thank you.
you.
Yeah, bye.
Okay.
From your humility.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Okay, don't interrupt me. I did not interrupt you. In the middle of song and dance, contain yourself. You can do that? Right. Okay. So you asked me, okay, or rather I asked you initially, how does Allah know that Allah's knowledge is correct? You said it's one of his attributes. We agree on that, right? As it's saying it's one of his attributes is not answering the how question, right? Agreed. And then he said, oh, we don't know. And I was like, okay, that's fine. But you haven't actually explained why then you should trust it if you don't even know how it works. Last thing I'll say, I'll hand over to you, we're going to be civilized here, right? I said a reductio of that argument could be that you could invent any object and say it's just one of its properties,
I
right?
understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying to you, have you finished?
Okay, so I'm just looking for an answer